What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I'm really excited, guys. I got a new knife from Bergblades in that I want to jump into with you guys, so let's get it. All right, the reason I'm really excited is because I have the new Alpha in. This one here is a premium build manufactured by Rayot, so a lot of goodness here. I have had this one for a little while. We'll jump into why I have taken so long to get this review out. I think I showed it in an unboxing video like a month ago. But again, all titanium construction, titanium hardware, pocket clip, back spacer, and nice fuller for opening with magnet cut steel in the blade with a front flipper, guys. This is a really cool piece. You got bearings in the pivot, very smooth action, very nice detent on here as well. Front flipper works really good. It's really well dialed for everything. I didn't have to do anything to this one, even though I've already disassembled it and installed multi-row skiffs on here. It had Delrin style washers with bearings, ceramic bearings in the pivot. They were single row, very nicely constructed, but I just opted to go for the multi-row skiff bearings and very smooth, very stable in the pivot, guys. Took it down to the garage to do a little bit of cutting. Great geometry for a full-size knife. Feels very slicey. Moves through the material very easily. The pinch grip was okay. It does have a little bit of a more robust tip, but it did do the job just fine. Like I said, if you needed to do a little bit of detail work with this one, it'll be able to handle it for you. But this one I feel primarily is going to be for that heavy-duty, hard-use cutting. Going to be able to get through that dense material, and it's going to do so very comfortably. I did feel the pocket clip a little bit. It wasn't necessarily a hot spot. I can just kind of tell right here on the corner and right here on the edge, kind of where those spots are while it's in the hand, with a, moderate grip on here to make sure that it's not going to slip out. Just feeling it. No real hot spots. And again, pretty comfortable overall. I like this because it's got a really nice contour going on. And then what it also does, it kind of has a swell right here. So kind of feels like it gets skinny a little bit, swells up and gets skinny. If anybody's kind of familiar with what a factory G10 scale on the Shaman feels like, that's kind of what you have going on here, but not quite as exaggerated. So I do like that. I also like the subtle scalloping here. It nests into my hands very well. I don't feel any real hot spots on any of the knuckles on the bottom of the scales here when it's in the hand. The thicker aggressive jimping is really nice for, again, gripping while cutting, but it does still have nice tight jimping here to accommodate that front flip, which I am able to do consistently, confidently, and regularly without any issues whatsoever. I can even roll it and it's fine. One thing I did want to point out on here is the factory pocket clip when I first got mine in was a little tight here. I ended up reaching out to a friend who is a machinist and just asked him to create like a really subtle shim here to kind of push it out for me to get into my jeans. I'm wearing like just Lee denim jeans that I really like. I think they're like a medium thickness. They're not really thin jeans, but they're far from like thick hunting or work jeans. They're just kind of in between, like an all-arounder. And I was having a little bit of an issue getting it in and out of the pocket. With that shim, what I ended up doing was kind of clamping it down and kind of changing the bend a little bit on mine for me in particular. So this didn't have the best clip out of the box, but the little bit of mods that I did to it for me really worked, and I really do appreciate that. This is something that if you saw my video, you guys kind of know that one of my gripes is like a pocket clip can really kill a knife. Now, having said that, with that change done to the actual pocket clip, I really like this one a lot. I've actually been carrying it for like 4 days straight. I'll show you the loadout here in a little bit, but I've really very much enjoyed that. Now, I can't really use that fuller very comfortably. I kind of, you see I missed it there. Kind of got to dig down to get it to be able to do a thumb flick for me. But again, that is with the larger hands, which I think this is pretty much intended for. That reverse flick is money, and the top flipper, or front flipper, I should say, very good. Not the best I've ever felt. I still feel like the Militao has like the best front flipper on a full size knife. Trying to think if there's anyone else or any other ones that I have that has it. Oh, you know, actually the Padre. Looking down at my knife case, the Padre has a pretty good front flipper for a full size knife. But I really like this one a lot. The stone wash on here has a very smooth finish to it, very heavy dark wash. I love that on there. I wish I had a resource to be able to get a dark wash done like this pretty quickly, consistently, and affordably, because I would do that. I'd probably even invest at this point because I enjoy it so much on getting a media blaster to be able to try and attempt to do this myself. I'd probably do it on a more budget-friendly knife, but that's neither here nor there. It came with a nice factory edge. I've only had to strop it a few times using it, and really that was just preventive more than anything. Not that I felt like the magnet cut on here really needed that. All right, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Okay, we have the Manix 2 lightweight that I have down on the table here that I've really enjoyed. You guys know I love this variant, this version, and the way that I've set it up. I've had this one for so long now, I'm not even sure, maybe even over a year. And then I have the Concept Sibin here on the table, which is actually a great companion carry. With this one, it has more of a utility blade shape, which I kind of like to mix and match my carries. But I really do like this loadout a ton here. And as you can see, it is definitely a full-size knife coming in bigger than both of these on the table. Let's do a couple more. All right, guys, on the table, we have the zipper from tackknives.com. I really like this utility knife here. This is a great companion also here if you're going for a little bit of a lighter loadout or a main carry, again, if you're going summertime lightweight loadout. And then my SOG Power Pint, one of my personal favorite small multi-tools here, and we'll go ahead and open up the Power Pint as well. You can get a real sense of how large the Alpha is. Let's do a couple more comparisons for other items that I use in my EDC. All right, so here are a couple of additional items that I carry regularly in my EDC loadout. We have the Raylight Land Apple with their dark wash, and you can see that the one on the Bergblade Alpha is actually just a little bit darker. Again, I really love the way that that looks, especially with that stone wash. I've actually thought about doing a stone wash on the two, well, a more heavy stone wash, I should say, because these are just dark blasted. They're not really stoned per se, but I thought about doing a stone wash on these to kind of get that crackling appearance that you see on that Alpha. And then here it is against the Tactile Turn Mini Side Click. And this is my Rambler XL that I'm currently, this is what I'm carrying today, that I'm carrying in my other pocket as the companion carry. And then just to show you here, because I did mix it up today, I didn't grab the Sibin today. I actually went ahead and grabbed the Mini Nova, which I think is another really sweet carry. I like this one here because I feel like it kind of flexes a little bit for me with a beefier carry or a beefier handle as a companion carry and a gents style carry, something that I don't mind opening, that I think is small and discreet enough to where you really don't raise an eyebrow. Anyway, let's go ahead, get all of this out of the way. We'll grab that scale and we'll check the weight on this because I actually think it's going to surprise. All right, we got the scale out. Let's cut it on and let's see what the Alpha is coming in at. Now, a little disclaimer, I do have the multi-row skiffs on here as opposed to the Delrin style bearings that came on it. Those are plastic cage bearings with ceramic balls, fewer balls, and a little bit of a lighter material. That could potentially impact the weight here a little bit. But for such a full-size knife coming in at 5.1 ounces, I think this is really impressive, especially if you can like compare it to like a Hinderer or something else, XM18 or something else that I think would be around this size as a full titanium knife. They're going to be much heavier. Those are 6 ounces plus, I want to say, if I recall correctly. So I really love the weight on this one being a full-size knife. Let me get the scale out of the way. We'll go ahead and wrap it up with my final thoughts and impressions. All right, final thoughts and impressions on the Alpha. I am going to preload this, or not preload this, but I am going to state in advance here before modifying the pocket clip to function well for me. And again, it made a huge difference. I've been carrying this one for the last 4 straight days. I'm probably going to go ahead and carry it again tomorrow. Honestly, that's how much I'm really enjoying this one. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10 with budget knives capped at 7. So premium materials like this knife here allow it to utilize the full range of my scale and grading system. I do take into account price, fit and finish, ergos, performance, and of course the subjective aesthetics of it all. Now, again, the caveat here is with the pocket clip a little bit better utilized here for me, a little bit better of an angle. It does catch well. It goes in and out of the pocket a little bit better on my jeans that I wear more regularly in the cooler months. And then, of course, my shorts that I wear in the summertime are no issue whatsoever. It goes in and out beautifully with those, and it doesn't hang up too much. For me, on this particular one, with the adjusted pocket clip on here, I'm actually going to go 8.8. I really like this. I love the look of it. The ergos and cutting performance are all top notch. Just really enjoy this one. The magnet cut steel so far seems to be heat treated very well. It does hold an edge pretty good. I do think that some of my S9DV on some of my other knives are doing a little bit better. My M4 always outperforming a steel like magnet cut as far as its edge retention, but magnet cut is a very tough steel. The deployment on here is very smooth. Even if you left the factory bearings in here, which I think were really good, I really don't think you need to replace them. Again, I think the multi-row bearings, a little bit more solidity in the pivot. It is a little bit more of a shaker with the multi-row bearings, I think, than it was with the other ones. I think the other ones kind of shook closed a little bit easier, so it could be that these are still breaking in. I was without this particular one for several weeks trying to get that pocket clip modded, so that just continues to be a fight that I'm going to continue to try to fight the good fight on. A lot of fighting in there, JD. But I really do like this one a lot. I do hope that they bring these back out. They sold out relatively quick. I think a lot of people missed out on them. They are a little bit more on the pricier end, but the build quality is all there. And again, I really just think this is one that is probably going to stick around in my personal collection for a really long time. It just kind of hits all the chords for me. You guys tell me, what did you think about the Alpha? Do you like this one? Don't you? And those of you that have an Alpha, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the pocket clip, aside from what you may think on the knife. I definitely am curious to see if I'm on an island when it comes to the pocket clip on this one. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, a like will be appreciated. Consider subscribing if you are not subscribed. Affiliate links down in the description help the channel when you use those. Totally up to you guys, but the support is appreciated if you do choose to do so. A special shout out and thanks to my channel members. You guys are amazing. I love you all. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'm out of here. Peace.